Hello everybody, and welcome to Escape to Books. My name is Sarah, and this is my Mid-Year Freakout Tag. However, I am not freaking out. I don't really plan my reads too much. I kind of just mood read, I guess is what it's called. I do have some series that I'm scheduled with other people and some that I'm just doing myself. But it's not really a freak out for me. So far, my goal for this year has been 60 books on Goodreads, and I'm past the halfway point, so I'm not really freaking out about it. But I did write down the questions, and I'm going to get to them. Anybody who wants to tell me what the answers to these questions were for them, please feel free to do so. And let's get to it. Also, excuse the notebook. I needed notes. So, the best book for 2023 so far for me has been Shogun by James Clavell. I buddy readed this with Alan from the Library of Alexandria, and I was pleasantly surprised with this book. I was a big fan of the video game Ghost of Tsushima, and this gave me those kinds of vibes. I'm really into feudal Japan and any kind of lore or anime or movies that entails. So this was a pleasant surprise for me. I really loved Shogun. I loved the characters. I was invested into that world, and I was kind of sad that the next books don't follow like chronologically. They kind of skip from place to place, and I had a hard time getting into the second part of the series. I will probably try again at some point because I do really want to like it. But so far, the best book for me was Shogun. So I didn't read too many series so far this year. Most celebrity series, I'm still either on the first. I'm either on the first book of that series, with one exception. The Cicero trilogy I have finished was also a read along with the Library of Alexandria, and that was a trilogy. So that's really the only one I can go with at the moment for sequels. Conspirata by Robert Harris was very good. I didn't like it as much as the second one, and the third one really brought everything home, but the second one really rounds out his midlife and things that he does within the Roman Empire in a big way. New releases you haven't read but want to. A Touch of Light by Tiago Abdallah is something I've had my eye on. I really want to get to it. I have to, as I live in an RV and I'm kind of on a book ban where I can't buy any books. I haven't been able to get to it. I've looked at every library I've gone so far, and it hasn't come in yet. I don't know if it will since it's a self-pub, but I will eventually buy this and read it. My most anticipated release for second half of the year is going to be A Deed of Dreadful Note by Patricia Meredith. I finished the first book of her Clockwork series, and this is starting a new series based off a real author, Anna Catherine Green, I believe is her name. And I do want to get to this pretty soon. I am super excited that she was able to release it, and I do want to read the book that's kind of based off this book that she really did write first, so I'm probably going to see if I can find that first and then get to the book that she wrote was the Leavenworth Case, so I want to read that first and then later down the line read A Deed of Dreadful Note. I am excited to get to that, and the cover looks really good too. The biggest disappointment would be a book I read in June. It would be Unmasked by Paul Holes. It was a autobiography of Paul Holes, who is a FBI agent who helped find certain serial killers. I thought this was going to be like a deep dive into kind of what they do, and this really ended up just being a deep dive into this guy's marriage and subsequent fatherhood, and I was kind of disappointed in it, and I gave it like a 2 out of 5 stars. The biggest surprise read for me was The Forgotten 500 by Gregory A. Freeman. A true story based off POWs and stuff like, and the people who helped free them from World War II, who were stuck over in Yugoslavia. I really liked the history behind this. There's stuff I didn't know, and I have a review for that on my channel if you would like to go check it out. My favorite new author, or new to me, would be Patricia Meredith. She is a self-published author, and I thoroughly enjoyed her her first book of the Clockwork series, and I can't wait to get to the next ones. Hopefully my book ban will end, which means I bought a house soon, so I can buy books. Newest fictional crush. So I didn't have any book crushes this year so far, so I'm going to go with a TV show that I just started. It would be The Reacher Show, and the main character, Alan Richardson, was really cool. At first I was a little standoffish because I have seen the Tom Cruise movies, and it's really hard not to compare and contrast between the two. However, I actually think that I liked Alan Richardson's portrayal of the character better. I think it would be closer to the books, and it did make me very interested, more so than the movies, to actually read the subsequent books that is based off of. I haven't done it yet, but I don't know when I'll get to it, but maybe just yet I will. My newest favorite character from all the books that I've read would have to be John Blackthorne from Shogun. I really liked his character a lot. He had a lot of character growth. He had he goes from an Englishman who doesn't bathe to a very proper Japanese-ish man who can't believe he couldn't bathe and can see kind of the error of his ways within his community and their community. So he sees both sides of the coin, and I really do like him as a character. A book that made me cry. So I didn't have any books that made me cry this term, but I did have one that kind of almost got me to, well, I did have one that made me a little emotional, and that was Doc by Mary Doria Russell. So this was a book I read pretty early on in the year, based off Doc Holliday. It goes through his early life, and his time with the Earp brothers, and his time as a criminal, his time with Big Nose Kate, and it goes through his subsequent kind of sickness and his death. And the death part obviously is kind of what got me. I didn't cry, but it was very emotional, and I really liked this book a lot. A book that made me happy. That would be The Way I Heard It by Mike Rowe. This book got a couple of laughs out of me, and I really enjoyed the stories of celebrities and inventors and things that I didn't know about. It was really well written, and each chapter was a different story, and I really enjoyed it. The most beautiful book you've bought or received. So I didn't get any books, and I haven't bought any books, so I'm going to go with books that I've gotten at the library. And probably the most beautiful book so far that I've gotten would be Playing with Fire by author Conan Doyle. While it doesn't have a lot of illustrations on it, I did really like the purple color and the kind of gold embossing in it. It was a really cool cover. It was a really cool cover and a pretty good read. Another one that each chapter is a different story, and when I am not on my book ban, I will probably go buy it. So, books you need to finish. I basically have just the series that I have to finish. So I have the Soldier Sun series. I'm going to be getting to book 2 here soon that I need to finish. It's a 3-part trilogy. And then I have the Rising Kingdoms series by Curtis Craddock that I need to finish, which I'm also finishing up the first book now, and we'll probably be getting to the second book soon. And that is my mid-year freakout. What are some of your mid-year freakouts? I'll put the list in my video as I go, and I'm excited to see what some of yours are. Please feel free to leave a comment, like and subscribe, and as always, let's continue reading.